Hello everybody, Captain Marty Brill here. Friday, August the 8th, and we're rolling into a big tournament weekend over at Pirates Cove, and we'll tell you a little bit about what to expect there. We'll talk to you about what's happening with this little bit of weather we're having, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on up in Ocean City as they, some of our hometown boys are in the money in several categories. I'll do all that when I come back in just a moment.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Edward Lee here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. She's a modern 60-foot head boat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make 3 trips per day out of the world-famous Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Visit MissOregonInlet.com or call us today at 252-251-4314. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Oregon Inlet 2.
Hi, I'm Captain Jay Cudworth of the Kokomo with Paradise Dolphin Cruises at Safe Harbor Marina in Wanchese. I want to invite you to take a ride out on the Roanoke Sound to see the majestic bottlenose dolphins up close. As a native, I'll be telling you stories from these waters as a boy growing up in Wanchese. Nature and history have combined to make this area unique, and I love sharing this special place with special people. So come on aboard with me and my crew and experience the real beauty of the Outer Banks. For more information, go online to ParadiseDolphinCruises.com. Again, this is Captain Jay. I look forward to seeing you soon.
So the Hatter's fleet did get out yesterday, and they had good dolphin fishing. Really good mahi or dolphin, whatever you want to call them, almost entirely bailers in the 3 to 8 pound range. Great to eat, fun to catch. They had a scattered wahoo, and I hate to use the term scattered wahoo because a wahoo is really a game fish that's pretty rare and pretty hard to catch. And in Hatteras, when you average 1 or 2 to the boat, it's not all that amazing, but for a lot of people, they'll fish their whole life and never catch a wahoo. So a single wahoo, which is about what their average now, 1 or 2 per boat per day, is great fishing. But they do occasionally get a really good wahoo bite in late August and in September, where it's really not unheard of to go into double figures, 10, 11, 12 wahoo in a day on a single boat. They had a few blackfin tunas, and I have no report as far as any closer to shore fishing, although we do have some backcountry information we'll save for after the break. The Oregon Inlet offshore fleet and nearshore fleet were blown out. Big sea with this low pressure moving by kept everybody tied to the dock after a great day of white marlin fishing the day before. But they did have some of their nearshore and inshore boats went back in the channels, and the Old House Channel primarily had a really good bite on bluefish and Spanish mackerel back in that neighborhood. So like I always say, there's always somewhere you can go fishing on the Outer Banks. We got a decent drum bite with various size drum on the piers, mostly the northern piers north of Oregon Inlet. 78-degree water temperature in Nag's Head. But Jeanette's is one of the piers that had a pretty good drum bite yesterday morning with some good-sized drum, what we call the bull drum, the big ones. And these are red drum. But there's still other stuff to be caught. There's been bluefish. There's been Spanish mackerel. I've been, believe it or not, a few blowtoads. There's a lot of flounder being caught. In a lot of places in our report. Unfortunately, the season is closed for most of them. Surf fishing, a nice mix, northern beaches, pompano, sea mullet, bluefish, a few Spanish mackerel. But again, it was rough, hard to hold bottom in places. So a lot of that stuff is sort of at a minimum really right now. And you do want to be really careful when there's a breaking sea on the beach, and don't feel like you have to get out there in the middle of that to catch a fish. So be careful. And we're going to take a little break. We'll come back and I'll talk to you about what is biting in the backcountry, mainly the Pamlico Sound, in just a moment.
Locally owned and operated since 1971, Billy's Seafood has been providing the locals and visitors of the Outer Banks with some of the freshest seafood you'll find. Not too far off the beaten path down Collington Road in KDH, Billy's Seafood has become a landmark for those seeking top-notch seafood at affordable prices. Billy's Seafood also has beer, wine, grandma's tuna salad, and other groceries as well. To see more, go online to billyseafoodobx.com. Billy's Seafood, putting fresh seafood on your table for over 50 years.
All right, the drum bite is still on in the Pamlico Sound and will be for the near future. Red drum, big ones. A lot of people out there right at dusk and dark, and they were able to fish because they're not worried about a big swell like the people over on the beach side are. There have been drum all along the beaches, and a lot of our nearshore boats have been going after them, but that swell in the bar kept that fleet in. So a lot of guys are getting back in the Sound, and they're doing good on yearling and big drum. like they have been. And we have guide boats. If you have never done that on your own, you might want to go with a professional. The first time, it's money well spent, and it's a good way to shorten the learning curve. Been a few trout caught, especially on the Hatteras side of the Pamlico Sound, with a really good bite out that way. And we have sheephead and we have sheephead and bluefish in the report as well. Now, let's talk tournament business. First of all, we'll talk about what's going on up at Ocean City. Only 4 out of 282 boats fished yesterday, and that tournament is dealing with some sea and some weather now, which means that they've added 2 extra days to the tournament. We're going to have some of those boats fishing through Sunday, which is our day for our tournament at Pirates Cove for the Alice Kelly ladies only Billfish release tournament. So we've added a day. We've opened up Monday for the Alice Kelly ladies to fish. But, we got a lot of boats that are not going to get back from Ocean City in time. Many of them were already booked, and we do have a lot of people scrambling around. You can't help the weather. It's part of tournament fishing. What went on in the Ocean City White Marlin Open, their big tournament, no changes on the leaderboard with only 4 boats fishing yesterday. So the big money is on a 72-pound white marlin. This is a white marlin tournament. $4,277,710 for the Billfisher. Our buddy Hunter Blunt, Bill Blunt, and the crew on the Barbara B, they're still holding with that biggest blue marlin, 929.5 pounds. That'll be a hard one to beat. And even though they dropped back in prize money, because now the big money white marlin fish has been weighed on the Billfisher, they still are standing to win $1,248,707. And they have some other prize money up for grabs. I think they also have the biggest dolphin, if I'm not mistaken. And then one other local note, the Mama C, with a very popular local Rob Mahoney on board, has got a tuna that weighed 95 pounds. That will be a hard one to beat. And that one is worth $786,955. So all that is going on. Meanwhile, we'll be registering and signing in the girls at Pirates Cove on Saturday evening. We hope to get the ones we have out fishing on both Sunday and Monday. The tournament is open to the public. You can walk the dock, come around and look. Monday, with a lesser size fleet, might actually be a good day to come and look around a little bit. But I'll be out on the dock every evening in front of the pavilion. So stop by and say hello. And come out and see all the fun we're going to have at Pirates Cove this week. Really, really looking forward to it. And I do hope you have a great day. And may the good Lord bless you all day long.